We're on Kuf Beis Amid Beis. I think I sort of left slightly in middle of a topic. I think I left out the last pasuk. Uksive Sharti B'Yisrael Shivasal. This is about 20 lines from the bottom. Uksive Sharti B'Yisrael Shivasalofim Kol Abracham Asher Loi Karu Lebal V'Chol Hapash and Loi Nosakloi. It says there was left over in the Yidden 7,000 who did not bow down to Baal and that didn't kiss it. This is a continuation of the previous sugya. We were talking about how it must have been a Sefer Torah that that Achav refused to give over. That was his one schus that he had, that he wouldn't give over the Sefer Torah. He said maybe it wasn't Sefer Torah, maybe it was Avodas Gecham. He said no, because it says B'chol ha'am. B'chol ha'am certainly included some kosher Jews, and this is the pasuk that proves that there were Yidden who were not nichnas into Avodah Zarah. Amar of Nachman, Achav shakal haya. Nachman says Achav was a complicated person. He was conflicted. He wasn't entirely bad. He wasn't entirely good. Shenamar v'yem Hashem mi yipata es Achav. The Rosh Hashanah said Kaviyachol in Shemayim, who should be the one to entice Achav? V'yal v'yipol v'ramois Gilad. They're trying to get him to go out and fight because he was going to get his einish. He was going to die in battle. And different Malachim said we'll do like this, and others said we'll do like that. So the Gemara is understanding from that it must have not been so simple to afflict him, to get Achav, because he must have had some schusim on his side. Maskav Rav Yosef, man the Kosabei Rakla Hayik Achav Asher his Macher Lases Hara Beinei Hashem. There was no one like Achav that he sold himself to do what was evil in Hashem's eyes. Asher Hesda Isa Yizavel Ishta, he had his wife Yizavel, who was the paradigm, the poster child for a wife who brings her husband along on the wrong path. Utnina, and it says, every day he would weigh out pounds of zav, of gold, to bring to Avodah Zarah. How could you say he was in between? It's a fascinating thing. This Achav, even though he did terrible Avodah Zarah, he was the wife of Yizavel, he did horrible things, but he was vatrim b'mamayne. He was not. He was generous with his money. Since he was generous and he helped out Talmidei Chachamim, he got mechila for half of his averis. So he ended up being mechza. He ended up being shakel. I don't think shakel means that he was half and half. I don't think it means he was wasn't sure whether he was going to the good place or the bad place. But it means he wasn't for 100% bad. He had significant schusim on his side. So this is before we brought the pasuk that the Rasham said, who's going to go and entice Achav to go to battle where he's going to lose? So the Ruach came and came to Hashem, and the Ruach said, I'm going to do it. I'll take that job. He said, how are you going to do it? So the Ruach said, I'm going to go and convince all of his Nevi'im that it's a good thing that he should go into this battle. The Rebbeinu Shalom said, you should do so, and you're going to win. Save Asekin. Go out and do this. Said to the Ruach, my Ruach, who is this Ruach? I'm Ruach Shalom Nevois HaYisraeli. This is Nevois HaYisraeli, who Achav had gotten him killed. I think it was because he wanted his possessions, or his wife, I don't remember. Might say. So why does it say? Why does the pasuk say that the Rebbeinu Shalom told this ruach, this spirit, this ghost of Nevois HaYisraeli that he should go out? He said, go out, leave my environs. That since you're going to try to get the Nevi'im to say Nevi'ah Sheker and get Achav to go into battle where he's going to die, so you're fooling him. There's a smell of Sheker, there's a smell of falsehood in it, and even though this is what the Rebbeinu Shalom wants, you still can't stay together with me. The Rebbeinu Shalom hates Sheker, so even someone who's using Sheker for something the Rebbeinu Shalom wants still can't stay by him. Amar Papa, Hainu da Amri Inshi, the para kine machrav bese. The person who indulges his appetite for revenge destroys his house. So this ruach of Nevaisa Israeli, he had it out for Achav. So he agreed to take this job of fooling him to go into battle and getting killed, but in the end he got kicked out of being in front of the Shechina. Because of his appetite for revenge against Achav, he ended up getting kicked out. So that's what it means. Someone who lets his anger get the best of him, who gets obsessed with revenge, he's going to destroy his house. Nothing good is going to come of it.
It's talking about Shemayim.
Yeah, he was kicked out of Shemayim. This ruach, it was a spirit. It was like a ghost. The ghost of this Nevaisa Israeli who was what do you call it? He was harassed or something happened to him. Achav did something bad to him and he wanted to get revenge in the next world. So he volunteered for the job of neshama, whatever. I don't know. It's called the Gemara calls it a ruach. I call it a ghost, a spirit. Yeah. But everything was gone. He didn't have a body anymore from this world. He didn't have the Yetzer Hara. But he still had that obsession with getting back at Achav. Achav made a tree for Avodah Zarah. Vayosav Achav la'asos lahachas Hashem Elokei Yisrael, and Achav continued to do that which would anger Hashem. Mikol Malchei Yisrael, more than all the other malachim of the Yidden, Asher Hayu Lefanav, that came before him. So he really excelled at doing the wrong thing. Amar Rav Yechanan, shekosav al dalsa Shamrain, he wrote on the doors of Shamrain, Achav Kafar B'Elokei Yisrael. He would write that Achav wrote that he's being a kafir, he's being kafir the Rebbeinu Shalom. Lefikach ein lechelek B'Elokei Yisrael, and therefore Itaka has no chelek in Olam Haba. Vayivakash es Achaziyahu v'Yilkadeyu v'hu mischava b'Shomer. He searched out. This is talking about Chizkiah, I think, that he went and he searched out and killed, or Menashe. He killed all the descendants of Achav. One of them was this Achazio, and he was hiding in Shemer. Rav Levi, that means that this Achazio was taking out Hashem's name from the Sifrei Torah and putting the shame of the Avodah Zarah in its place. Menashe, what was his name? Menashe Shenosa Ka, that he forgot Hashem. Davaracha Menashe Shehinosa Yis Yisrael Avim Shemayim. He caused the Yidden to forget Hashem. Uminal and the Loyasi Lalmud Asi. How do we know that Menashe didn't go to Olam Haba? T'chsiv ben Shtei Mesri Shana Menashe ben Molchoi. He was 12 years old and became king. V'chamisha v'chomei Shana Melech Yishalayim. And he remained a king. His reign lasted 55 years. V'yas Asherah, and he made this tree for Avodah Zarah. Kasher also Achav, the same as Achav did. Melech Yisrael, the king of Yisrael. Ma Achav ein lechelik olam haba, Menashe ein lechelik olam haba. So the pasuk compares him to Menashe, to Achav. So too Menashe also doesn't have a chelik olam haba. In our Mishnah, we said a machlekes. Yehuda says Menashe does have a chelik olam haba. Menashe, when he was kicked out of his malucha, he davened to Hashem, and Hashem answered him. And like we said, there were two pshatim over there. He was returned. Either he was returned to be the king, but he didn't get back his chelik olam haba, or he did full tshuva and he got back his chelik. That's the machlekes of the Tanai. Amar Rav Yechonu Shnei Mikra Echad Darshu. Both the Mandama who says that he has a chelik, and the one that says he doesn't, they're darshaning from the same pasuk. Remember, Nesatim lezava l'chol mamlechos haaretz. It was a earthquake by all the kingdoms of the earth. B'glal Menashe ben Yechezkiyahu, because of Menashe ben Yechezkiyahu. Marsav b'glal Menashe she'asu tshuva ve'inu lo yaven. The upheaval was that Menashe, that he did tshuva, and he got back his chelik on Haba, and they didn't, and that was a terrible upheaval that caused them to also get punished. The other one says no, it's directly talking about Menashe, that everyone, he didn't do tshuva, and everyone also did the same thing, and that's why they all got punished. Anyone who says Menashe does not have a chelik in Haba, merapi yedem shel bali tshuva, he's causing to undermine the Bali Tshuva. The Tani Tana Kamei Rabbi Yechai. Menashe also Tshuva, Shloisha v'Shalosh Shanim. The Menashe did Tshuva for 33 years. The Chsev ben Shtei Esrei Shanim Menashe b'Malchai. He was 12 years old and became the Melech. V'Chamisha v'Chamish Shanim Malach b'Yishalayim, and he was king in Yishalayim for 55 years. V'Yas Asherah Kasher Asa Achav, and he made an Asherah, a tree for Avodah Zarah, like Achav did, Melech Yisrael. Kama Malach Achav, Eser v'Tartan Shnin. Achav was a king for 22 years. Menashe Kama Malach Chamisha v'Chamish. He was 55, and it says that Menashe did an Asherah like Achav. So it means that's how long he did Avodah Zarah, the same amount of time that Achav did. Achav was king for 22 years, so that's how long Menashe did Avodah Zarah. Dal Minayu Eser v'Tartim. If you deduct 22 from 55, Pashlu Tlas and Utlas, you're left over with 33. Those are the 33 years that he did Shuvah. Amr Yechon Mishum Shem Yechai, Ma'idach Seva Yishma Olav Ve'echt Eloi. Now, so this is like, if you look in the Mesaris Hashas, is it Mesaris Hashas? I'm sorry, in the Hagoyis Tzionim, it says that the pasuk Taka says, it doesn't say Vayachtalai, it says Vayachtalai. So he says he must have had Rav Shimon Yochai had some different nusach of the pasuk. In any case, he had a pasuk that says Vayachtalai. And the fact it should have said that he answered him, that he davened. That Menashe davened to be saved when he was kicked out of his malchus, and the Rosh listened to him. What does it say? The Rosh made like a tunnel in the Shemayim. The Midas Hadin really wouldn't have allowed Menashe to do tshuva because of his terrible sins that he did. But the Rosh made a special tunnel that allowed his tefillas to go straight to the Kisei HaKavod, straight to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and therefore he was able to do tshuva. It's an interesting concept that Rebbeinu Shalom has to avoid the Midas Hadin. They have to get
This politics upstairs too.
That's right. Usually we say that Midas Hadin is only for big tzaddikim, right? That's the famous thing that Kachol b'machshava, that the beginning the Rebbeinu Shalom wanted to do everything with Midas Hadin. He saw the world couldn't be miskayim, but for certain tzaddikim who are at that level, they can be Midas Hadin. What this lashon of Bereshis is a very unusual lashon. It's only used in the beginning of Chumash Bereshis and in these two instances by these two malachim. You're saying Bereshis, it means that's at the beginning of the creation of Malchus, and these were not the first malachim. When it says Bereshis Mamlachos of these malachim, the Rebbeinu means that the Rebbeinu wanted to return the world back to the way it was before Bereshit. Because he wanted to destroy the world. Because of Yayakim, because of his rishus, Nistakel B'dairei. However, he looked at the rest of the Dar, that they were tzaddikim, Niskara Daite, and he decided, he was cooled down. The Rebbeinu decided not to destroy the world. Because Baruch Hu la'achzer sa'olam kula l'toyu vayu b'shvil doirish shel Tzidkiya. Tzidkiya himself was a tzaddik, but the Rishon wanted to destroy the world because of the people of his dar. The stakel, but Tzidkiya and Iskaradite. In that case, he looked at Tzidkiya and he was appeased.
Tzidkiya was a king, right?
Yeah. The Gemara says, "B'Tzidkiya namik sevayas hara b'einei Hashem." But how could you say Tzidkiya was such a tzaddik? The Hashem looked at him, and therefore he decided to allow not to destroy the world. But it says that he did bad. Vayas hara b'einei Hashem. So the Gemara shahai biyad limchas v'lei micha. His ra was that he wasn't strenuous enough in his objections, but he himself was a tzaddik. V'amar Rabbi Yechon mishum shebayichay. Ma'idach sev ish chacham nishpat es ish avil v'ragas v'sachak. Ish chacham, I judge, and as well as the person who's a fool. Ragas, he is. I get angry at him. V'sachak, and I smile at him. Ve'ein nachas, and it's to no effect. He doesn't do tshuva. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu. The Gemara explains what does this mean. What are you talking about? The chacham and the fool and getting angry and smiling. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu. Asti el achaz. I got angry at Achaz. I punished him. And in order to try to get him to tshuva, I allowed him to fall into the hands to be conquered by Damascus, by the Syrians. And what did he do? He adopted their avodah zarah. That he brought karbanos to the idols of Damascus that hit him. Because their idols are helping them. So I'll bring avodah zarah to them. I'll bring karbanos to them, and they're going to help me, and then I'll win. So he decided to follow them. He followed the victors. And therefore they caused him and the Gans Klal Yisrael to stumble. And then so that's what it means that it says that the Rebbeinu Shalom did mishpat and he was roigas. He punished him, and it still caused him to do more averos, to follow their avodah zarah. Sachakti, and that which it says I smiled at him, im Amtzia was a different king named Amtzia. Nasatia Malchay Edom biyadei. I put the kings of Edom into his hand. I let him win. So when he conquered them, he took their avodah zaros from their countries, and he started to worship them. He came he came from hitting the Edaimim. He brought their avodah zaros as part of his victory march. He adopted their avodah zaros. So the Rebbeinu Shalom says, whatever I do, if I let the Yidden lose, if someone wants to do an avera, it doesn't help. If I let them lose, then they say I'll follow their avodah zarah. If I let them win as part of their victory, they adopt their avodah zarah. Amra Papa Hainu Damrinchi, Bachil Lamar Delayadi Delayada. A cry for the person that doesn't know. Chaychi Lamar Delayada, Vaile Lamar Delayada. When you laugh at him, he doesn't know. When you mourn for him, he doesn't know. Bein tov lebish. Whatever you do, he's not going to know the difference between good and bad. That means it's a little hard to understand exactly what this memra is that people say. But it's saying basically what it's saying is someone who doesn't know who's a fool and is going to do the wrong thing. Whatever you say to him, it's going to fall on deaf ears. Whether you laugh at him, whether you talk sternly to him, if he's intent on doing bad, he's going to continue to do so. All the lords of Babel came and they sat in the Shar Hatach. What does that mean? The place where they decide halacha, meaning in the place of the Sanhedrin. That's where, when the Malchei Babel came, they took over the place of the Sanhedrin. In the place where the master of the house would hang his weapons, Taman Kulbaraya Kulse Talo. The shepherd, when he comes into the house, will hang his kalim, his cup. means the thing that could be the most chashuv can go down to be the most degraded. Amar of Chizd, Amar of Yirmiyah bar Abba. My dechsiv al sdei ish otzel avarti. I passed on the field of a lazy man, val kerem adam chos alev, and on a man who is missing his heart, he's heartless. Bine ala kulei kemishunin. They all grew up like weeds. Kasu panav charailim, and like thorns. V'geder avon of neherse, and the I'll stay ish. V'geder avon of neherse, and the wall of stone fell down. I'll stay ish atzalavarti, that I passed on the field of a lazy man, ze'achas. That's all these old references to wicked kings. The first one was Achaz, Menashe. Became like thorns or like weeds. Amin. Kasu panav harcharulim, and his face was covered with weeds. Yaakov. That's Yaakov. V'gadar avana nehersa, and the stone wall fell down. Zetzit kiyo shenechav beis hamikdash b'yama. That because of all these evil kings that came before him, even though Tzidkiyahu himself was a tzaddik, the Beis Hamikdash destroyed in his days. There are 4 groups that cannot be makabel the Shechina. Kat Leitzim, a group of scoffers. Kat Shakonim, a group of liars. Kat Chanifim, a group of flatterers. Kat Mesaber Lashon Hara, and those who speak badly of others. Kat Leitzim D'chsev, Mashach Yadei Es Leitzim, I'm going to take my hand away from the people who mock. Kat Shakranim, the group of liars, D'chsev Doivish Karam Layicham Leneged Eini, those who speak falsehoods will not live in front of me. Kat Chanifim, the flatterers, D'chsev Kiloi Lefanav Chanav Yavai, the flatterer will not come in front of me. Kat Mesaper Lashon Hara, D'chsev Kiloi Kel Chafetz Rasha Ata Lo Yagurcha Ra. You're not the Rebbeinu Shalom is not one who abides by Rishayim, and you won't allow bad to live by you. Tzaddik ata. You're a tzaddik, and you won't allow ra. And ra in this case means lashon hara. Those who speak bad, they spread bad, and those can't live where the Rebbeinu Shalom is. You will not abide by ra, and a nega will not come close to your oil. This is in Tehillim, and this is the Gemara's understanding it to be a bracha that David HaMelech was giving to his son Shlomo. So he says that the Yetzer Hara will not rule over Shlomo HaMelech. The negal yikabalech l'shimta ishtcha safek nida b'shas tovim min haderech. It was a bracha to Shlomo HaMelech that he wouldn't come back from the derech and find his wife Anida. Davar acher l'sunu rachel rosh yivayuscha chaloi misroim ve'erurim roim. He won't be plagued by bad dreams and bad thoughts. The negal yikabalech shalilacha ben oitalmud shemakdiach tafshila berab. You won't have a son who embarrasses you. Right? This is it's interesting because we say this thought, this approach that what your son does embarrasses you is the cause of a lot of kids' problems, right? People who worry about how their kids reflect on them. But it's a bracha. In the end, it's a bracha. You don't have to be you don't have to come to the just love them thing. No. Listen, it didn't work out so well for Shlomo because he had a lot of problems with his kids. Ad kam barchoy aviv. So up till here was the bracha of David that he gave to Shlomo. Mikan be'elech brachasa imay. This is what Bathsheba gave him a bracha. Ki malacha v'yitzavach loch. The Rebbeinu will send malachim l'shmarcha b'chol derechecha to watch over you wherever you go. Al kapayim yisungcha will carry you in his hands, in the palm of his hand. Al shacham b'pesen tidra. You'll step over the shachal we had was one of the 6 names for the lion. Pesen is a dangerous, like a scorpion, or a snake. Adkam b'chasa imay. So that's the bracha of Bathsheba. Become elef b'chasa shemayim. From there on is the bracha of the Rebbeinu Shalom for Shlomo. You're going to desire me, and I'm going to save you. I'll pick you up, because you know my name. You'll call me Vaneo, and I'll answer. I'll be with you in your times of need. I'm going to pick you up and be mechaber you. I'll provide you with arichas yamim. You'll see the final. I don't know. Yeah?
No?
I don't think so. I think he died at 52. That was Shmuel. Was that Shmuel that died at 52?
Well, most of that I think
Yeah.
Shmuel and Shaw, I think was also the same.
Yeah. Amr Rav Shimon ben Lakish, Ma'idach Siv, Vayimne Rishayim Oyram. I'm going to keep from Rishayim their light, Vizroya Rama Tishaber, and their outstretched arm I'm going to break. Ne'ma ayin shel Rishayim tluya. Why is the ayin, the letter ayin, the word Rishayim? Why is it hanging? It's separated from the rest of the word. So it comes to darshan that you should take out that ayin. So kivin sha'ad nasa adam rosh milmata. Since a person becomes hated, he has enemies in this world. Nasa rosh milmayla. He's going to end up being not being happy with the Rosh is not going to be happy with it either. In fact, the Gemara. So Rashi says, "Nasa Rosh Ma'ila be Yedua Sheshayna Noisam Ma'ila Harikas of Roshim Shnei Minirishus." Very not really practical to say I'm going to just do Ben Adam Lamakom, but Ben Adam L'Chavera I'm going to blow everyone off. You're going to end up not making the Rebbeinu Shalom happy either. Why does it write it as Rishayim with the ayin, but takes out the ayin, so you should darshan it separately? One was because of David. David was very chased after. There were many people who opposed him in his lifetime. He also had many who opposed him, and they were still tzaddikim. Tanaraban, Menashe Menashe, who we know was a big Rasha, and he ended up doing tshuva. Maybe some people say he did, some say he didn't, but he was a big Talmud Chacham, and he learned 55 methods of learning Sefer Vayikra. Can I get Shnei Machusay, one for every year of his Malchus? Achav was also a very knowledgeable person. Shemaina v'chamisha, he had 85. Yerava Meya v'shloisha, he had 103. They all had a tremendous amount of, they all had big Talmidei Chacham. But even so, it just goes to show you that you can't, this doesn't help if you're a Talmid Chacham, if you're Ovid Avodah Zarah. Tanya, Avshalom also has no chelik in Olam Haba. Shenema Vayaku es Avshalom Vayamu. He hit Avshalom and he killed him. Vayaku Olam Hazeh Vaymisula Olam Haba. He lost his chelik in Olam Haba. Tanya Rav Shimon ben Elazar Omer Mishum Rav Meir Achaz v'Achazia v'Chol Malchi Yisrael shekotzav v'Yasar Rab Einei Hashem Lo Chayin v'Lo Nidayim. They are all in a nowhere land. They're not going to be Zeicha to Tchias HaMesim, but they're also not going to be Nidden to be put into Gehenna. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Begamna Naki Shafach Menashe Harbe Ma'od. Menashe also killed many innocent people. And he filled up the whole Yerushalayim from one end to the other. It's on top of the fact that he also caused a lot of Avodah Zarah. Hacha Tirgamu, they learned over here, meaning in Bavel, Shahar Gishaya. That which it said that he filled it up, that was referring to Yeshaya, that he killed the Navi Yeshaya. But in Eretz Yisrael, they said it means that he made a Avodah Zarah. Masui, and this Avodah Zarah was Masui Elef B'nei Adam, that it took 1,000 people to carry this Avodah Zarah. B'chol yom v'yom harei kulam. that these 1,000 people that would carry it, it was so heavy that it would kill all of them from the exertion of carrying it. Kaman azla hadam rabba bachana shekula neshama shel tzadik echad keneged kol. Like, who is this going like that? We say that the neshama of a tzaddik is equal to the whole world. Kamandam Yishayah, like the Mandam who says that he killed Yishai. That we said that he filled the whole Yerushalayim with blood from one end to the other. That was just Yishaya, because Yishaya was a tzaddik and it was shakal keneged the entire world. Ksiv pesel, uksiv psilim. In one place it says pesel, he made a pesel. Another place it says psilim. Rabbi Yochanan, I think this is talking about Menashe. Rabbi Yochanan, but chila asalei parts of echad. At the beginning, he made for his avodah zarah only one face. In the end, he made 4 different faces. So whichever direction the Baruch Shem was coming from, it should anger him. Achaz hemidu ba'aliyah. Achaz placed his avodah zarah in the aliyah, not in the Beis Hamikdash itself. The mizbeach that was placed for the avodah zarah was on the roof, on the aliyah, in the attic of Achaz. Menashe hemidu behechel, but Menashe put his avodah zarah in the hechel itself. Shenema v'yosam es pesel ha'ashera asher asa b'beis asher amar Hashem el David v'el Shlomo banu b'bayis hazeh v'shalayim asher b'chati michol shiftei Yisrael asam eshmi la'olam. That he put the pesel in the house that the Baruch Shem told David and Shlomo to build. That's talking about the Beis Hamikdash. Amoin, the next king, he went the next step. He put his avodah zarah in the Beis Kachei Kodashim. Shenemar, he katzer hamatzah mihishtareya. The sofa is too short for people to sit comfortably, to recline on. Misket tzara may hitchanis, and the seat is too tsar, it's too short to relax on. Mikey Kotza Master Mishtareya. What is that lashon? That it's too short. So anyway, the idea is that this is the so we say Mike Kotza Master Mishtareya. Ki Kotza Master Zem Mishtareya Love Shnei Reyim. It's too small for 2 opposing forces to be in a ke'echad. Meaning that the Rebbeinu Shalom, that was the Makom Kachei Kadoshim where the Rebbeinu Shalom is, and it's too small. It can't encompass also an avodah zarah. So that was the avodah zarah they placed in the Kachei Kadoshim. By my vehis machet tzara, Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani, Rabbi Yonasan, Rabbi Yonasan can have a matil haikra. Rabbi Yonasan got to this place, can have a kabach. He would cry. Misha Kasabay kindness kaneid mehayam. The Rebbeinu Shalom holds in his hand the waters of the sea. Tasalei maseicha tzara. He made the avodah zarah of Ammon was made to be like a tzara to him. It was made like when someone takes a second wife and the original wife is upset about it. That's the way it became for the Rebbeinu Shalom, that he placed this avodah zarah like a tzara to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Achaz batal es avodah. Achaz was mevatal avodah the Beis Hamikdash. V'chasam es ha-Torah, and he closed the Torah. He stopped the learning of Torah. Shenemar Tsar Teuda. What does Tsar Teuda mean? I know I looked at it a bunch of times.
Bind up the testimony.
Yeah, stopped. So Tsar the Teuda, referring to the karbanos that they would bring Chasaim Torah, and stop the Torah. Belaimde, from the people who learn it. Menashe Kader es Haskaris. He like we said before, he took out whatever Hashem's name was in the Sefer Torah. Baharis as a mizbeach, and he took down the mizbeach. Eventually, he put it back up when he did a tshuva. Amen saraf es Torah. He burnt the Torah. The hella shmamis al gabe mizbeach, and he allowed cobwebs to gather on the mizbeach that had been rebuilt by Menashe. Achaz hitir esa erva. Achaz allowed ervas. He said it's all. He made it a libertine society. Menashe ba al achoisei. Menashe was born his sister. Ammon ba al imai. Ammon was born his mother. Shenemar kihu Ammon harbe ashma. He did many. He increased the evil doing. Yechon Rebbe Elazar Chad Amish Shar for Satire. One says that he burnt the Torah, but Chad Amish Shabbat Alimai, that he was born his mother. Amrullah Imai. His mother said to him, Kum Yesh L'cha Hana Mivakim Sheyatzim Menu. Is there any hana that you're being born me? Why are you doing this? Amrullah Kum Ani Yaisa El Lahachas says Bayrei. It's all part of my rebellion. I'm doing it Lahachas, not for any taiva. Ki asa Yaakov Amar Kamoy Layadi Larguzi Klum. Klum Anu Tricham El La'irei. He said, Yaakov said, you don't even know how to start up with the Baruch Shalom. I know of even a better way. Do we need the Baruch Shalom? The only reason we need the Baruch Shalom is for light. We have this golden, this shiny gold that we can use that to provide light. Let him take away that art. The Baruch Shalom could take the light of the sun because we have other sources of light. You're saying you have zav that you can use to light instead of the sun, but the zav is also the Baruch Shalom. Shenem aliyah kesav aliyah zav. No Hashem tzavakos. Amal lahem kvanos lanu. But he already gave it to Shenemar. Kvanos lanu. Shenemar v'hashamayim shan l'shem v'arsnan l'vnei adam. Hashem gave us the gold. Amalei rava l'rava babar Mary. Emalei manu es Yaakov. Why wasn't Yaakov? We said he was quite the Mechara from Megadef. Why wasn't he included in the list of people of Malachim who lost the Chet and Haba? So Mishum Dechsibe, Vayita Divrei Yaakov, B'Tayavoisa Asher Asa Hanimtzalav, that it increased the words of Yaakov and the averes that he did. Hanimtzalav, my Hanimtzalav. What does it mean? That he literally tattooed the shema of his avodah zarah on his eva. One says he did a terrible giduf that he tattooed the shem shemayim on his eva. So he said, I don't know the answer. He said he did terrible things. So why wasn't he taka? When did he lose his chelik in Olam Haba? So he answered him, I don't know the answer of why Malach was not included, but I do know why one hedget was not included. Why wasn't Micha included? Micha was the one who caused a tremendous amount of Avodah Zarah to be brought. Because he did Hachnas Zarchim. He provided bread for people who are passing by, therefore he didn't lose his chelik in Olam Haba. Whoever who came and passed from the Levium, says that the pasuk it says that he gave them he enticed them to avodah zarah, but he also provided them with food. So when pasuk says va'avar b'yam tzara, he went to the yam, the hika b'yam galim, and he hit in the yam waves. Amar b'yechan and zeh pesel shel Micha. That is the pesel of Micha. This is if you remember before we had mentioned that Micha was from the time of Mitzrayim, that when Moshe Rabbeinu was telling the Baruch Shalom, why did you tell me to go to Parai? Now he took away the Levanim and they put the babies into the wall, and the Baruch Shalom said, all these babies that were put in the wall, nothing good was going to come to them. And to prove it to you, I'll leave one over. That one he left over was Micha, and Micha was eventually caused all this Avodah Zarah many hundreds of years later. So. The Gemara says that this is Va'avu b'yam tzar v'hika b'yam galim. He was there at Yamsuf, this Micha, and he eventually was the one who caused all this Avodah Zarah. Tanya Rav Nosson Omer, Gerav l'Shila, the distance from Gerav to Shila. Gerav was where the Avodah Zarah was, and Shila was where the Mishkan was. Gimel Milim, it was a short distance. Vayashan Hamaracha v'Ashan Pasal Micha b'Savin Zeh b'Zeh. The smoke from the karbanos mixed together. Bikshu Malach Hasharis l'doichvay. Malach Hasharis wanted to stop, and Amalek Hashbachu he nicholoi svasei mitzuya l'ayvei drachim. They wanted to destroy Micha. They wanted to kill him. He said, no, don't kill him because he provides for the passerbys. This is what the Anshe Pelegish Begiva were punished for the Avodah Zarah. Anshe Pelegish Begiva, there was a story where there was this Pelegish was going and someone was ma'anis her, And it ended up that Gans Shevet ben Yamin got killed because of the fight that erupted over this. The Bershom was very upset that they all went to battle because of this Pelegesh, but the Avodah Zarah that was going on, no one stood up against. Amar Rechem Mishum Yosef ben Kisma, Gedela Legima Sherchika Shtei Mishpachas Misrael. Legima is Achila Shem Achilan Archem, that which you give Archem, that it sent away two Mishpachas from Yisrael. Shenema Al Davar Shaloi Kadmu Itzchem Belechem U'B'Mayim. That Ammon and Moav were pushed out of. They were separate. We'll do this tomorrow. This is all a long thing. It goes another while. Okay, Shkayach.
Thank you. Have a great day.